Major Charles Hodges is the U.S. mission commander for the 353rd Special Operations Unit for the Air Force. He was part of the rescue operation. He joins us now from Chiang Rai, Thailand. Major Hodges, good morning, and thank you for all that you have done in this effort. Let me ask you, I know you were near the cave's entrance. Can you describe that final moment when the boys left the cave?
Yeah, the final moment when the boys left the cave, obviously there's a big sigh of relief. Everybody knew that big home run had been hit. But at the same time, there was still cautious optimism only because we still had 4 Thai Navy SEALs that were still back there that we were waiting on. We knew the mission wasn't over yet when the last boy came out.
I understand, and even that was a very precarious situation, that you got those boys out and those final Navy SEALs just in the nick of time. What was happening?
Well, 3 of the SEALs, there's 4 of them back there. 3 of them made their way into Chamber 3, and about the same time, we got the word that the pumps that had been running nonstop shut off for an unknown reason, and the water levels back in Chamber 3 started rising, which would have cut off our access back to Chambers 2, 1, and then out of the cave. And that's an abort criteria for our guys, and so when that water level started rising, everybody started grabbing their kit and they were ready to get out. Thankfully, that last SEAL popped up at the last moment, and everyone was able to get out of Chamber 3 safely and make their way out, and mission complete.
Major, this was part of an extraordinary multinational effort. Can you explain the camaraderie, the cooperation between teams that were working on this rescue operation?
It took every single one of us putting our heads together, pushing aside any sort of political or cultural differences, and just doing our best to find a solution to this. So what I take away from this is just how much can be accomplished with teamwork, because it was pretty impressive.
Well
seeing
said.
all those entities working together.
Well said, and I know you were right there at the cave's entrance. What did the boys look like when they emerged? What did they say, if anything?
Well, understand that to get them out, we had to put them on positive pressure, full face masks, and so we couldn't see their faces. They were in these flexible litters that we call skedcos that kind of wrap around them, so they're unable to move. There were multiple rescue personnel that were carrying them out. So I don't want to give you a non-answer, but there's no way that you could tell the emotions of the kids, but I know they were absolutely happy to be out of that cave system.
Major, I'm sure there's some parents among those who are working on the rescue operation. Can you describe to us the emotional tenor of the work outside the cave?
So there's obviously heightened emotional tensions the whole entire time that we were there. Thankfully, the Thai culture is such an optimistic culture that it helped to balance out those emotional lows. The emotional tenor outside the cave was one of volunteerism. There's so many people that came to help, whether that was with giving, setting up food vending stations or little tiny coffee shops, or socks for the people that had super muddy feet. All of that was provided for free, and the environment was just one of everybody coming together to make this a success.
Major, had you ever been trained for anything like this? And if not, how do you come up with a plan when you're faced with something that's so particular?
We're not trained to do cave dive rescue missions. So at the end of the day, you just have to rely on the training that you're given and how we approach problems methodically and logically, and try to push away any emotion and look at it from that lens of what are the circumstances and what do we absolutely need to do to make this a success.
All right, Major Charles Hodges, the boys were lucky to have you there, and we're grateful to have you here this morning. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Oh my gosh, can you imagine those details? If there is going to be a movie.
Oh, I'm going to see it. I'm going to buy 2 sets of tickets. The world was holding its breath.
Yes.
You know, what a miraculous outcome.
And then to learn that it was nearly scuttled at the end, or really turned very perilous because of this equipment failure.
Yeah.
I mean, the teamwork is what amazes me, continues to, is they all got together, did this incredibly complicated thing for which they had no training, and pulled it off despite those amazing last-minute.
Humanity! I love this story.
It's amazing.